Hey everyone, it's DQ Reads. Today I'm going to do 25 bookish facts about me. Please don't mind my hair. I haven't done anything to it yet. I just did a workout and had a shower, so if my face is a little red, that's why. So this is actually a lot harder than I expected. I wrote the facts out prior to making this video because I knew coming up with 25 facts off the top of my head would not be something I could do. So I'm gonna pull them out of a drawer. There's no order. I don't know what order they're gonna show up in. There's a couple that will make sense in a specific order. So if I put one aside or anything, that's why. There's also one that I know I wanna leave until the very last one because it's kind of cheesy and it makes sense to be in the last spot. Fact 1, most classic books I've read, I didn't like. Yeah, I think the only classic book that I've read that I really liked is The Handmaid's Tale. I haven't read the second one yet. And I mean, if you would consider The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, those two books, if those are classics, then I really enjoyed those. But I've read other classics that I really didn't like. Brave New World, for example, couldn't stand it. Fact 2, I bring my Kobo or current book places for comfort. That is so true. If I'm going somewhere where I'm a little nervous to go or doing something I'm a little nervous to do, I'll bring my Kobo or what I'm currently reading just in case. I know in a lot of situations I bring it, I cannot read it, there will not be an opportunity, but I bring it anyway. Fact 3, I love audiobooks. Fact 4, as a child, I was rough on books. This one I don't remember so much because I've been told, which is really funny because now I treat my books with so much care. But apparently as a child I would like color on them and like rip them, and it's awful. I hate that I did that. Fact 5, I reread books even ones I didn't originally like. That is true. I do believe in rereading books, and there's a reason for that later, but I also just really enjoy consuming a story multiple times, if it's a TV show, a book, anything. And even the ones I didn't originally like, because sometimes you don't like a book because it's not the story you need or the story that fits you in that moment. And sometimes when you reread something, it fits you in another moment, or you're older and you understand things differently. That's why I reread them, even if I didn't really like them. Fact 6, I prefer memoirs and life stories in audio format. This is true, especially when the books are read by the author. Perfect, love that. Fact 7, I don't like hardcover books. Super true. I find them kind of annoying. I find they rip apart from the spine a lot. They're harder to hold. They're just annoying. Not a fan. They also cost more, which I get why, because they do tend to last longer and like stay in better condition longer, but I just don't like them very much. Fact 8, I always read before bed. Super true. Not sure when that started, but here we are. Fact 9, I don't lie on Goodreads to get my goal and never would. This one I just kind of wrote for fun because I was like running out of ideas, but also like, do people do that? I feel like they would. Fact 10, I read physical and digital books, obviously, but I do read them both. Fact 11, I have only ever read one sci-fi book / series, and it's my all-time favorite. Fact 12, I can spend hours in a bookstore. Yeah, I could, and I probably have, honestly. Fact 13, I love being surrounded by books. Fact 14, the longest book I have ever read is It by Stephen King, and it was about 1,100 pages. It took me, I think, like 3, maybe 4 months to read though. Fact 15, I love dogs but refuse to read anything centered around them. That's true because oftentimes dogs die in books, okay? I don't like that. Fact 16, I have too many books for my bookshelf. My desk in my bedroom is a kitchen table, not even kidding, and it also doubles as a bookshelf because in the corner there's a bunch of books because my bookshelf doesn't fit them all. Fact 17, I don't like the smell of books. That's gonna surprise a lot of people because a lot of book people love the smell of books. I don't. Old, new, somewhere in between, I don't like the smell. Fact 18, I find Bookstagram and books in general calming, which would explain why I bring my Kobo or book somewhere. Fact 19, I have never read a textbook cover to cover. I read nonfiction books cover to cover, but not like a straight up textbook. Fact 20. It bothers me when people don't take care of their book. Fact 21. I tend to be drawn towards heavy books, but will switch it up with lighter books every so often. And by this, I mean the content. So I tend to read a lot about like murders and just like really intense things. So I like to switch it up with just fun little books every now and then. Fact 22. My least favorite genre is fantasy. Fact 23. I don't like borrowing books. Yeah, I really don't. And that's part of why I reread books a lot, because I buy all my books pretty much. So if I'm not rereading them, then I literally read them once, spent all that money on one read, and it's kind of useless. And there's often times where I just don't have the money, or I'm waiting for something like to come into money or a paycheck or something to be able to buy more books. So during those times, I tend to reread. Fact 24, I get most of my books through gift cards. So when I'm rereading a book, sometimes it's because I'm literally just waiting for a gift card or a time when I might get a gift card. And finally, the very last bookish fact, fact 25. And that is, I am always open to and looking for reading recommendations. So if you have any reading recommendations for me, please comment them down below. Super, super grateful for that. Love reading recommendations. Also just wanted to point out that, in case you cannot see it, I am reading The First Phone Call from Heaven by Mitch Albom. I really hope I pronounce his name correctly. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to check out some of my other videos, go right ahead. I have a few up so far. I also have plenty of plans for future videos, so please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. My life is falling apart. Recommend this to a friend. They'll love it.